Hi everyone, I'm Diah, and together with Rere and Kelvin, today we are going to present our topic about distinctive features of phonemes. So there will be 6 topics that we are going to discuss in this presentation. The first one, feature values. The second one is non-distinctive feature. The third one, phonemic patterns, and then there will be ASL phonology. And the next one is natural classes of speech sound. And the last one is feature specifications for American English consonants and vowels. So for the first explanation, we're going to talk about what is the distinctive features, and we're going to contrast the definition and the role between phonetics and phonology. So the phonetic properties are features that distinguish the phonemes of our language. Phonetics here provides the means to describe the phones or the sounds of language. It shows how they produced and how they vary. And phonology tells us how various sounds form patterns to create phonemes and their allophones. So here we have an example. The minimal pairs seal and zil show that s and z represent two contrasting phonemes in English, so they are different. They cannot be allophones of one phoneme because one cannot replace the s with the z without changing the meaning of the word. So here, to make you more understand clearly about the difference between phonology and phonetic, I provide you the definition. So phonology is the aspects of language related to the distinctive features of the representation and reception of sounds of language. And phonetics is defined as the study of the sounds of human speech using the mouth, throat, nasal, and sinus cavities and lungs. But how they differ? So phonology is about the abstract aspect of sounds and it studies the phonemes, but phonetics is about the physical aspects of sounds. It studies the production and the perception of sounds. And next, we're going to move to our first topic, which is feature values. The single feature may have two values, which is the symbol is plus, which signifies its presence, and minus, which signifies its absence. For examples, b is a symbol as plus, which means is voiced. P is minus voice. It means it's voiceless. So take a look of the table over here on the right side. Let's take the example of p. So the p are marked as plus. It means that p occur and stop, and p also occur and labial, but p doesn't occur as voice because p is voiceless. Okay, let's move to the next slide. So a phonetic feature is distinctive when the plus value of that feature in certain words contrasts with the minus value of that feature in other words. At least one feature value difference must distinguish each phoneme from all the other phonemes in language. The the, g contrast by virtue of their place of articulation features, which is in labial, alveolar, and velar. The distinctive features of voice stops in English are shown in the following, so you can see on the table. It's similar from the previous table. The explanation is quite similar. Vowels also have distinctive features. For example, the feature plus minus back distinguishes the vowel in rock plus back from the vowel in rag and minus back, among others, and is therefore distinctive. And the second topic is non-distinctive feature. Here, the nasality is a non-distinctive feature in English vowels. It gives an arbitrary relationship between form and meaning. So here are the examples. We have a word meet and beat, which is have a different vowels. Meet m, beat b. So by seeing the examples here, we can conclude that the words meet and beat shows the distinctive feature which is arbitrary. So next, when a feature value is predictable by rule for a certain class of sounds, the feature is a non-distinctive or redundant or predictable feature for that class. Thus, nasality is a redundant feature in English vowels, but a non-redundant or distinctive or phonemic feature for English consonants. Let's see the example from French. In French, nasality is a distinctive feature for both vowels and consonants. For example, gars, it has a different pronunciation, which is ga, it means lad, contrast with gant, and we pronounce it ga, which means gloves. And the second example is bal, and we pronounce it bal, it means dance, and contrast with mal, and we pronounce it mal, it means that bad. So French has both oral and nasal consonant phonemes and vowel phonemes, but in English has oral and nasal consonant phonemes, but only oral vowel phonemes. So here we have another example. The African language Akan, spoken in Ghana, has nasal vowel phonemes. Nasalization is a distinctive feature of vowels in Akan, and look at the examples illustrated in table. Here, African language in Akan have a similar pronunciation. For the first example, like fee, and the second column is fee, but they have a different meaning. They have a same pronunciation, but have a different meaning. So nasalization is not predictable in Akan as it is in English. There is no nasalization rule in Akan as shown by the minimal pair pum and pam. So if you substitute an oral vowel for a nasal vowel or vice versa, you will change the word. So we have another non-distinctive feature in English. It's called aspiration. So the voiceless aspirated stops like p, t, and k, and the voiceless aspirated stops p, t, and k. So let's take a look for the table in the right side. So where the unaspirated stops occur, the aspirated ones do not, and vice versa. If you want to, you could say spit with an aspirated p and spit, and it would be understood as spit, but listeners would probably think you were spitting out your words. So where the unaspirated stops occurs, the aspirated ones do not, and vice versa. As a result, aspiration is a redundant, non-distinctive feature in English. Aspiration is predictable, occurring as a feature of voiceless stops when they occur initially in a stressed syllable. So one thing you have to remember is that although languages may have the same phonemes, but the phonology might be different. For example, as my previous explanation, that nasality is non-distinctive in English, but distinctive in French. So I think that's the end of my explanation, and for the next explanation will be explained by Riri.
Okay, thank you, Diah. The next will be explained by me. The same phones may occur in two languages but pattern differently because the phonologies are different. Aspiration of voiceless stops further illustrates the asymmetry of the phonological system of different languages. Both aspirated and unaspirated voiceless stops occur in English and Thai, but they function differently. Aspiration in English is not a distinctive feature because its presence or absence is predictable. In Thai, it is not predictable, as the following examples show. This is the voiceless unaspirated pa and voiceless aspirated pa. Thumb, thumb. Cat, cat. It sounds similar but have the different meaning. The phonetic facts alone do not reveal what is distinctive or phonetic. The phonetic representation of utterances shows that what speakers know about the pronunciation of sounds. The phonemic representation of utterances shows that what speakers know about the patterning of sounds. The next is ASL, or American Sign Language Phonology. As we know, signs can be divided into smaller units that are in many ways. They can be composed into place of articulation, movement, and hand configuration. For example, candy, apple, and jealous. Articulated at the same location, but minimally contrast in hand configuration, which are candy, apple, jealous. Summer, ugly, dry. Minimal set contrasting in place of articulation. Tape, chair, train, contrast only in movement. The next will be explained by Kelvin.
Thank you, Rere. Well, I will continue to explain about natural classes of speech sounds. Phonological rules often apply to natural classes of sounds. A natural class is a group of sounds described by a small number of distinct features, such as minus voiced, minus continuum, which describe p, t, k, and ch. There are some rules in nasalized vowels. Nasalized vowel before p, I, or z has no phonetic explanation. The environment is a motley collection of unrelated sounds that cannot be described with a few features. Nasalized vowels before m, n, or ng. The lowering phlegm in anticipation of a following nasal consonant causes the vowel to be nasalized. It can be applied to the natural class of nasal consonants, namely sounds that are plus nasal, plus consonantal. There are the feature specification of major natural classes of sounds. This table shows the symbol plus means that occur in the feature. For example, in glides, there is a plus in sonoron, and the minus means that it's not there. The next, feature specification for American English consonant and vowels. For example, there are some features for vowel in English. You can identify natural classes. In this table, I and U is marked with plus. It means that the natural class of high vowels, and the minus means it doesn't occur in there. Okay, that's the end of our presentation. Thank you for following us. If you have any question, feel free to ask. Have a nice day.